Hi, this is Grace Bruno, booksbygracebruno.net. You can buy my book, Oklahoma Sunrise, A Cowboy Romance by me, at amazonbooks.com or here at booksbygracebruno.net. And you'll get an autographed copy. Okay, I'm going to read chapter 2. So sit back, put a pillow under your head, put your legs up, and relax. As the plane safely glided into the Tulsa afternoon light, Jessie remembered when she and her parents had departed 17 years before. How excited and enthusiastic she had been to go to California. Even though she would be leaving her friends behind, she was looking forward to the new adventure. As it turned out, the kids she met in high school were standoffish and they liked to tease her about her West-South Central accent. Eventually, she made friends and she found her first love, Doug Abernathy, in her senior year. She made every effort possible to lose her accent once she attended nursing school. And now here she was once again back home, a Californian. At least this is what she thought, as all the passengers to plane. Meeting her at the gate would be her uncle's ranch hand, Jimmy Grayson. He had written her a brief note requesting that he stay on at the ranch until she was acclimated to her new surroundings. In fact, there had been no final decision as to Jessie's relocation. Sure enough, there he stood, black cowboy hat in hand, smiling from ear to ear. His ruggedly handsome face, windblown and creased by the unforgiving sun, reminded Jessie of her father years before. He had invested in the computer stores. Startling blue eyes shone from above his sharp cheekbones, and his thick, sensuous lips beckoned Jessie's carnal nature. "Howdy, ma'am," Jimmy grinned. "Hello, Jimmy. It's been a long time." "Yes, ma'am. Been about 10 years now." "That long?" "Yep." "Well, I must say you certainly look healthy," she tried to make conversation. "Well, I've been working real hard up at the ranch. It sure is good to see you, ma'am. It's been real hard since your uncle died. I about cried for a week." "He was a good man, Jimmy. Is the funeral still tomorrow afternoon?" "Yes, ma'am. He wanted a very small funeral, but I think just about everyone in the county will attend. Hey, why don't you let me carry them bags for you? It's too heavy for you. Though you do look strong enough to take care of yourself if necessary." "You're probably right, Jimmy." She let out a heavy sigh. Jessie peered out the window of Jimmy's '56 Ford pickup truck, thoroughly surprised by the zigzagging Tulsa skyline. When Jessie was but 15 years old, Tulsa had always held an intriguing mystery for her. What she hadn't realized was how much more sprawling and populated it had become since her absence. Somewhere in her weary heart, she felt a glimmer of familiarity, and yet she wasn't sure she really belonged here or anywhere for that matter. Outside the city, her lungs drew in the alfalfa-spiked air. While she gazed lazily out at the cow-specked pastures, the dry breeze played with the wisp of her long, straight hair. Jimmy watched as she wet her lower lip with a soft pink tongue, wishing all the way that he was tasting that hot little tongue. He wasn't at all prepared for the adult, womanly Jessie. Her sweet, even-featured face induced in him a desire to caress and squeeze the very life out of her. Painfully aware of the distinction between the hired help and the owner of the property, he decided to keep a safe distance from her. "Ma'am," he addressed her respectfully. "Ma'am, we're about there. You can see the beginning of your uncle's property to your right." Smiling gently, she surveyed the low rolling hills and golden pastures. At a fair distance from the far land, she noticed several still working pump jacks thrusting their rusty heads up and down ceaselessly. "Do the wells still produce oil?" Jessie asked Jimmy as he turned toward the road to the farmhouse. "Ma'am, there's still a lot down there. We might never run out." "I thought the oil rush was over." "Not here, ma'am. It just keeps coming up. Of course, it's not like in the '30s, but we'll still keep our nodding donkeys busy." "Nodding donkeys? Oh, you mean the pump jacks?" "That's right. Pump jacks, nodding donkeys, horse heads, hammer heads. You get the idea." "I do," she said, smiling. "Is the oil production affecting the pasture land?" "Not really. We've been real careful about conservation and such. You know, your uncle was an environmentalist." Trying not to laugh, Jessie nodded her head in agreement. "Yes, he was extremely aware of the negative aspects of oil production. I'm glad to see that there's still plenty of farmland left." "Sure enough, keeps everyone busy. We got a huge hen house, zillions of roosters, and even a couple of billy goats." "Billy goats? Since when?" "Your uncle had a girlfriend at the inn, and she gave him the gift of a goat. His name is Larry." "Well, that was nice," Jessie said as she tilted her head in amusement. "How old was his girlfriend?" 75, 76. "She's just a few years younger than him." "Yep." "I look forward to meeting her. What's her name?" "Lila. Lila McAllister. She got a little farm about 5 miles up the road from us." Her husband Al died 15 years back. I guess your uncle and she enjoyed keeping company with each other for about 6 years now. It's nice to have someone to keep company with, don't you think, Miss Jessie? He winked playfully. And that's as much as I'm going to read right now, everybody. Again, Oklahoma Sunrise, books by gracebruno.net or on amazonbooks.com. I'll catch you later. Bye.